So if you listen to our podcast, we talk a lot about dead flyers. And for bluefin fishing in Southern California, it's basically the de facto bait that guys are using nowadays from a natural bait perspective to catch big bluefin on the kite. I've been asked by my good friend Nick to share my style for rigging the dead flyer for fishing bluefin tuna. So what we have here is a beautiful average-sized California dead flyer, courtesy of our good friend Aaron Graham from G-Fly, who's one of the guys who provides like a really high-quality bait for us Southern California fishermen. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to fold the wings forward, each side forward. So you go like this on this side till about there. It's pretty much level with a right angle, you know, with the head of the body, maybe a little turn back. I don't like to go too far forward though. So at the most a right angle, but no more forward than that. So I'm going to bring both wings forward till about right there. And you can see these wings are really nice. When I open my baits, you know, generally I like to see wings that are fully intact. You know, generally G-Fly does a good job with that. So thank you, Aaron, for these baits today. But if you're catching your own, it's really important too that you try to keep your wings intact and not beat the bait up. And that really helps with the presentation and helps the bait get a bit better. So what I like to do is bend them forward like that, and then I'm going to take a basic shish kebab stick. You can buy them at pretty much any grocery store, a little shish kebab stick, barbecue stick, and I'll break it in half, about halfway down the body. Take the pointy end, pre-sharpened, ready to go. You're just going to go right through the flesh, right above the backbone. You don't want it like that, like that. You don't want it like that or like that. You want to try to get it as even as you can, that wing structure stays pretty even. Once you have it through there, you're going to take zip ties. Now, usually I use a small zip tie. This is a large zip tie. I forgot to bring the small zip ties, but usually I use kind of the smaller size zip ties. I prefer white, color-wise. You're going to put it through. You're going to go through just like so, through the filament, 1 to 2 of the little ridges here, of the little bone filaments here. You're going to go 1 to 2 down to give it some structure, and then you're going to go through the soft part of the wing, all right? You're going to do that. You're going to bring that up. You're going to pull that through. Zip that up. So, and then on the other side, you're going to do the same thing. I like to try to put it in. I actually like to try to make sure that your shish kebab stick stays locked inside or above the wing and not on the other side. It's just a small presentation thing. Remember, the fish are looking at it from below. And you've done it on the other side there, like such. So now you can see the wings are pinned outwards, pretty much at an even angle. You see very little structure from the shish kebab stick or the zip ties from that lower view, which is what the fish is looking at. Again, I used the smaller zip ties, so they're even smaller profile. A couple things about the hook rigs. This is the double Jobu rig. We use this rig a lot. I like this rig a lot. The single hook, a lot of grab. They generally keep fish pinned when you come tight. These hooks can be attached a couple different ways. If you're in just like a ripping, hot, instant bite kind of bite, you can just pin them right through the back like so, right about at the cross there where the shish kebab stick goes through, and you can just pin the other one through the back like so. That's a real easy way to just get a bait out quick. No more further rigging required. You're going to get a quick bite. However, in rough water, high wind conditions, foamer fishing, when you're pulling the bait in and out of the water with a high degree of frequency, what you're going to find is that the flesh often kind of loosens up around the wing spots, around the hook penetration spots. And after maybe a few sets, the bait's not going to be as usable anymore, and it's actually not going to look that great in the water because there's going to be too much play on your rigging. In that case, what I like to do is use zip ties, and what I'll do is I'll make a cross from this side of the wing to the underside of the wing, and then on the other side from the top of the wing around the other side of the wing, and then you can either pin your hook through just like so with the cross meeting at the bend of the hook, or if you want to do an alternative style, you can have both zip ties go through the eye of the hook and cross up there. So it's the only difference really being one option has the hook standing up, one has the hook standing down. Both are effective. I use them both. It's a little faster sometimes to just do a cross over the bend of the hook. That gets the bait out quicker, but you have the added resiliency factor of not having it actually be embedded into the flesh itself. Another thing you can do with that back hook related to the zip ties is just do a zip here, right at your gap, and then do a zip right here, and that's going to keep both baits pinned with 0 flesh penetration. And I use that a lot when I want my bait to last for a very long time. The really good thing about dead flyers is usually when the fish eat them, they eat them down pretty deep, and you usually have pretty good contact when the bait physically disappears, when it's been actually eaten, if they actually get it. This is the bait of choice for people on the tuna grounds, you know, with where we are in our bluefin cycle, and it's the bait that I trust. At the end of the day, get out there, have a really cool summer, and catch big bluefin tuna. And that's your free, complimentary casting crank sport fishing tip of the day. So thanks, Dave, for having me.